This is one of the favorite books that I've read over the years, and it's Santa is Coming to Delaware. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children in Delaware been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering pile of letters that the children of Delaware had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Just like this, I imagine. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Ho, well, jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents all loaded up. And here you can see there's Santa, and there is the elf. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go! Maybe not, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. So you can see here's the big sack of presents. And there, Santa, the older elf, and look at that sleigh with the sack of presents on top. I don't know how that takes off. Missing? Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. Well, the youngest one is, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight, and I've called him on his cell phone, but... Just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder that he hadn't heard his cell phone ringing. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his own cell phone and put in the Google Maps, tapped the coordinates for Delaware. This will guide us to Delaware in no time, said Santa. And there you can see. You can see there's Santa, the old elf, and here is the youngest elf, or the youngest reindeer, munching on a carrot. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the first state. And you can see there's Santa taking off. I wonder who that reindeer is right there. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the wintry air, crossing over Canada. In a wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above New York and Pennsylvania and on to Delaware. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. And there you can see there's Santa and the reindeer flying, getting ready to come to Delaware. They were just crossing over the Delaware River when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Google Maps in a bossy lady's voice, keep left at the next star. But, ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon, they were hopelessly lost. And you can see all the snow all around. Then, through the blizzard, how the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the older reindeer, the one with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose, I wonder who he could be. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with his cell phone. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. And look, there's Santa, and you can see here's the reindeer making a turn, a sharp turn, and all of a sudden, everyone is changing course. That wasn't easy. Whoa! Cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Ding dong! Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. It must be the bells of Christ Church in Dover. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. You've arrived at your destination, his cell phone said unhelpfully. And you can see the presents are going everywhere, and there's Santa grabbing a hold of his hat. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were, stuck right at the very top of a giant Christmas tree near the Dover City Hall. Everybody pull! And the reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the tree. Santa steered them safely above State Street, over the Dover Public Library, past Wesley College, along the St. Jones River, and down into Silver Lake Park. Do any of those places sound familiar to you? Luckily, there was no real damage done to the sleigh, but the packages had been all jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents and put them back into order. Whew, that was close. All right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. And you can see, there they are. The reindeer are in the snow, and if you look back in the corner, you can see a little snowman. You can see an owl. They're all watching Santa. There's a bunny over here. All watching Santa put the toys and the presents back into the sleigh. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Delaware, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Wilmington and small chimneys in Newark. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Hockessin and plummeted down fat chimneys in Camden. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Delaware were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer, he was starting to feel a bit weary. And you know what? He was hungry too. And there you see Santa going down the chimneys. I still am amazed. I don't know how he does it. And you can take a look at this reindeer. He looks tired and hungry. Have you ever been hungry when you're out there shopping? Are you hungry now? In house after house, Santa delved into his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas tree and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Delaware had left out a large plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big, crunchy carrot for the reindeer. How many of you leave crunchy carrots for reindeer? How many of you like crunchy carrots? I like carrots. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie and a tiny sip of milk. He wiped his beard and then he put the carrot into the sack for the reindeer. So there's the presents and the Christmas tree, there's the cookies, the milk and the carrot, and there's Santa. I guess Santa had to eat just a little bit of each cookie, because if he ate all the cookies, he would really be big. From Bear to Brookside, from Bethany Beach to Rehoboth Beach, from Smyrna all the way to Magnolia, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Delaware. Why, Santa delivered presents to Allison, Andrew, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley, and the list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Sybil. Take a look. You might recognize some of these places. There's a lighthouse. There's the State House. There's Dolly's Saltwater Taffy in Rehoboth. There's the totem pole outside of Bethany. There's the Zwannendale Museum. There's the monster. Anybody know the monster's name from Dover Downs? It's Miles. They call him Miles the Monster. And this is from the pumpkin chunkin' tournament that we used to have in Delaware. Yeah. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Delaware list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but you know what was in it? It was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on his nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching and crunching on a carrot. Then it was time to set off for home, and Santa reset his Santa nav to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding above the Rehoboth Bay, over Cape Henlopen, past Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, over past Dover Air Force Base. They went past the Fort Delaware State Park through the crisp, starry night. And you can take a look, and there's Santa. Look at that full bag of carrots. Well, I guess the reindeer were going to eat well that night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Delaware. The end.